So, y'all, I finally got around to watching season one of Cross. I was told by so many people to watch this series, and I was finally able to sit down and watch it. And I must say, I was not impressed at all. I'm not really a huge fan of like cop shows and detective shows and all of that kind of stuff outside of like a SVU or something like that. Or if the story is being told from the criminal's point of view. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just not big into the police. But let's get into what I did and didn't like about the show, because Cross was getting on my nerves so bad because I just feel like he caused all his problems in his personal life chasing after that job. Didn't like that. Every single bad situation that he was in, he put his job before his own family. Now, why he was doing that, I don't know. But even after he got fired or suspended, whatever happened, he still was chasing behind things that at that point he didn't even have any involvement in. Now, what I did like about the show was the fact that it just lets you know, as they always do in TV and film, that everybody is in cahoots. Like, you think that the people that are supposed to protect you from certain things, that they are oblivious to crime or to bad things happening to people. And a lot of times they aren't. They are either being paid to overlook it, or they're engulfed in the situation some kind of way. So they can't do anything about it because it's going to shine light on what position they play in the illegal activity. This series definitely shines light on how corrupt law enforcement can be. And the reason why Alex was having such an issue with solving his cases is because people on the inside were doing things they didn't have any business doing. So that's why he was on a wild goose chase the majority of the series, because people were moving things around that had no business. Now, a lot of times when I watch shows, I start putting two and two together early and I start figuring it out really quick. So when the series first started taking off, I thought it was Elle that was, doing a little stalking and placing things in certain places in his home and messing with his daughter and stuff, because somebody was harassing his family because of one of the previous cases that he was involved in. I actually thought she was going to end up being involved somehow, actually almost all the way to the end, because she introduced him to the serial killer. Like, how did y'all two link up? How did you get to know him? They didn't elaborate enough on that for me. And Lord, when they beat Nana Mama down, child, I didn't think she was going to make it. I was scared for her. I hated the way Alex was treating his kids, because we know that you lost your wife, but they also lost their mother. You can get another wife. Those kids can't get another mother. And although there'll be people there to, support them in that way, it's still never going to be their mother ever again. So he was definitely getting on my nerves with that. And he definitely caused the majority of the trauma that they experienced. And I don't mean that in the sense of, I don't think he was necessarily a bad father, but he was putting his own desires and his ego ahead of his actual job, which is to be a provider and protector. Because after all they went through and all the trauma that they experienced, you would think he would not want to let those children out of his eyesight. But no, he lets his children go 3 hours away to some log cabin that he's never been to with Elle and the piano instructor of the little boy. And come to find out, the piano instructor was the person that was after them the whole entire time and had them been in their house studying them and set them up in all types of ways and basically took the children hostage. So finally, after that traumatizing situation they were able to get out of, they were finally able to resume their regular lives after that. But it's like, wow, why did you have to put your family through all of this for this job that the moment you did something wrong, they tossed you in the trash can and put the lid on it immediately? I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how he was chasing behind that job. Y'all tell me what y'all thought, because this wasn't working for me.